Endless online searches, trekking from dealer to dealer. But here it is, the Volvo XC90, a luxury SUV that emphasises convenience and comfort, a panoramic roof, advanced air purifier, a head-up display that changes to suit light conditions, an air suspension system that ensures a smooth ride by constantly adjusting the ride height and shock absorbers. Now at special run-out pricing from $99,990 plus on-roads. Visit Volvo Cars and discover why the Volvo XC90 is the vehicle for right now.
You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
Another of our elite drivers, albeit in a rally cars, Hayden Paddon, who last year won a second straight European Rally Championship, the latest achievement in his storied and ongoing career. Hayden Paddon's with us. How do you reckon Liam will be feeling ahead of his first start in the full-time seat this afternoon, Hayden?
Obviously, it's a massive opportunity for Liam, and I guess the first emotion will be excitement. You know, it's a very big opportunity that he's got there, and something he's obviously worked very hard to achieve. So excitement, but I guess with that comes, pressure. It's a very cutthroat world of any professional sport, and while you want to enjoy the moment, you know how much pressure there is to perform as well. So I'm sure there'll be mixed emotions. How
do you deal with those mixed emotions? Because you've landed on a really interesting point. Yeah, you're excited, of course you are, but it is cutthroat. There are only 20 of these seats. So how do you assess his ability to balance those emotions effectively?
I think just put the helmet on. That's what happens in a lot of motorsport. You put the helmet on and you trust your instincts and you trust your natural skill and what's actually got you there in the first place to go out and do the job. And adrenaline is a very powerful tool. Once you get in that sort of moment and get the tunnel vision and I guess do what you do best, then you just got to trust and back yourself, really. So he's obviously very talented. That's what's got him there. Now he's got to make sure he enjoys the moment and lets that talent do the talking.
In any car, in any form of motorsport, are there qualities that all good drivers have in common?
I think at the end of the day, you got to be patient is one of the biggest factors. It takes a long time to get to the top of any sport, particularly motorsport. But you've got to be willing to dig that much deeper. You've got to be willing to take risks that maybe some others aren't prepared to take. And you've got to be a good team player. Despite Formula One only being one person in the car or any form of motorsport, you've got to work well with your engineers, your teammates. It's about that whole package. And, New Zealand's got some very good training tools at our disposal here through lots of the Motorsport Academy and things that helps young drivers learn some of those traits from an early age. And, you just got to, again, trust in those things that we've learned.
Oh, I've lost you there. You still there, Hayden?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep, sorry, mate. I just lost you near the end of that sentence. I think I got it, though. All good.
Cool.
Formula One cars, they can reach top speeds of, 375k, average speed around 320 during a race. In rally cars, you're also flying pretty close to the line. How much of a factor does fear play?
None, I'd say. We all get very comfortable in our own environment. So, despite 350 plus kilometres sounding fast, when you do it often enough, all you naturally want as a race driver is you want to go faster. It's just what you adapt to and what you're used to. And to be honest, while there's an element of fear that creates the adrenaline that we need and that we thrive off, you can't be focused on the fear. If you're worried about the fear, then you're simply not going to drive fast. So it's not a factor at all.
Did it take you as a driver, a bit of time to get to that point where there wasn't any trepidation anymore?
100%. It comes with time, no different than anything in life. I guess it's once that novelty factor wears off and you get used to something and it becomes a lot more natural that, you become more relaxed and more comfortable in your surroundings, and that's when things often happen a lot easier as well.
And in the car, look, I don't know, but there must be at those speeds some fairly serious adrenaline, willing to pump itself through your veins. But you've talked a couple of times there about staying calm. Again, is that a challenge and something that only comes with experience?
Yeah, definitely. Like, everyone's different, of course. How you control your body and your heart rate and your mindset. Some people need to pump themselves up. Some people need to calm themselves down. So, it is a very personalised aspect of it. But again, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Becomes second nature. It almost becomes like riding a bike. The more often that you're doing it, so. Particularly for Liam at the start of it, obviously he's done a couple of half seasons of Formula One now, but, as the season progresses, he's going to get more and more comfortable and faster naturally, and that's where you've got to be patient. You've got to be patient with the process because, he'll be a very competitive person. He'll want results straight away, and that's where you have to be obviously patient to get those results.
How do you reckon you'd go in an F1?
No good. I prefer a bit of gravel and a roof over my head. So I've grown up on the gravel since I was a kid. So very different skill sets, but obviously very excited to see what Liam's going to do this weekend. And obviously we want the Kiwis to be up there at the front, so it's going to be pretty exciting. Yeah,
looking forward to it. You've had a bit on as well. You took part in the Race of Champions in Sydney last weekend. How did you enjoy that?
I loved it. It was an awesome event, different format to what we're used to, and probably didn't quite perform how I would have liked. But, it was just a cool event. Obviously now we get into our rally season starting in Australia next week as well in Canberra, and another busy season ahead on the gravel. Yeah,
I see the Australian Rally Championship is in your sights. Is that your main focus for 2025?
Yeah, at this stage it is. It's an unticked box. It's something we haven't taken on before, so I love the idea of a new challenge and something that hasn't been done before. And obviously Possum was the last Kiwi to go over there and win the championship, so would love to go over and try and do something similar. But yeah, it's going to be a big challenge, and we haven't given up on Europe. The budget hasn't quite allowed to go back there at the moment this year, but we are still in talks to try and get back over there.
That's good to hear. And something completely different, ambassador at the New Zealand Golf Open. How did you enjoy that?
Let's just say driving a race car is easier than playing golf. But no, I love it. The New Zealand Open is actually one of my sporting highlights of the week in terms of, when all the ambassadors get together and, we just have fun. And when you're on the course with the pros, it really opens your eyes about how bad your own golf is, but just how good they are. And it's a cool weekend. It's in a pretty spectacular backdrop too.
Good man, Hayden. Well, we'll all be glued to our TVs to watch Liam this weekend, and looking forward to seeing how you go in 2025 as well. Thanks for taking the time for a chat, mate.
Great, appreciate it. Thank you.
No, thank you, Hayden. Hayden Paddon on News Talk ZB.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday, or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.
For a few years in the 1970s, the Mr. Asia syndicate made millions.
Heroin creates its own market. It acts like a form of plague.
Until jealousy, betrayal, and murder brought it all crashing down.
Then he just pulled out a gun, shot her in the back of the head, and then said to Wayne, "You're going to help me bury her."
This is Mr. Asia, a forgotten history. All episodes now available on iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.